Welcome to Music Class Disciples. Today we're learning the third set of 8 measures from my Over the Rainbow tutorial. The part we're learning sounds like this. Okay, so if some of that seems complicated, I'm going to try and make it as simple as possible. Let's jump right in. The first part we need to know is we start with this E flat, which is actually a pickup from the measure before. You have just this 8th note. It's an E flat, and then you really rapidly walk down by half steps until you get to the C. So you want to play that E flat with your forefinger. So you go E flat and then rapidly to D, D flat, and C. With these 4 fingers. You see they're really close together. So you want to practice getting that almost like a Doppler effect. Okay, and that's going to get you into basically the first measure that we're talking about today. That was just a little pickup, okay? Now, I'm going to sort of separate the right hand and left hand for the first part because it's a pretty simple part. Once you get into the C, you're going to be bouncing back and forth between a C and an E flat. So that note that you start with and the note that you get to from that Asiasatura, that's what that's called with those little grace notes. C, E flat, C, E flat, C, E flat, C, E flat. I'm actually going to show you 2 measures here. You're going to then go to D flat, D flat, E flat, D flat, E flat, D flat, E flat, D flat, E flat. So you see that the first measure is just bouncing between basically C and E flat in the right hand, and then the second measure is D flat and E flat in the right hand. So while your right hand is doing that, your left hand is also doing a sort of a pattern. So you run down with your right hand to the C. When you hit that C, you're going to start with an A flat in your left hand. So you're going A flat, E flat, F, E flat, A flat, E flat, F, E flat. So there are those 3 notes. Take a second to get that in your hand. A flat, E flat, and F. And you just walk up and down, kind of like, it's almost like got a country feel. And if you think about it, this part of the movie takes place in the Midwest, or was it Midwest or Kansas, I guess. So you might, maybe they're trying to intone sort of like a country life. Anyway, A flat, E flat, and F is what you're going for in the left hand there. And then in the second measure, you just move this pinky up to a B flat. So the only thing that changes from the first measure to the second measure in the left hand is this A flat moves up to a B flat. So altogether, this really fast run, and as soon as you hit the C, you're hitting the A flat with your left hand. And then you're bouncing with the right hand while you're rolling up with the left. Then in this measure you switch, remember the D flat here, and this moves up to that B flat. Now, the left hand is going to do what it did in the first measure. It's going to go back down to this A flat, and your right hand is going to come up to an F, and you're going to play 2 half notes on this F. So that's your third measure, basically just 2 Fs with your right hand, and this sort of up and down pattern that you played before. And then the next measure, your left hand is going to do kind of something similar, where it's going to come up to this B flat. This is what the 4th measure in the left hand is going to sound like. So I'm going to show you that the first half is the same. B flat, E flat, F, E flat. And then you're going to do the same where you're going to go up to a G, E flat, D flat, E. So all together. Okay, now while your left hand is doing that, your right hand is basically doing nothing until right at the end that it's got a little pickup again. Just like, remember the first thing you did? The first thing we did was that little pickup. You got one at the end of this measure too. So, boom, 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 and on the last note, ba-dum, ba-dum, and you're going to get into the next part, which is very similar. So you now know the first 4 measures, so now we only need the next 4. And you've just sort of run from this E flat, and you're racing down to that C. Ba-dum. And here's what the next 2 measures sounds like. So actually the next measure, the fifth measure, you already know. It's the same as the first one we learned. Now here's where it changes a little bit. So the right hand is doing a bouncing pattern, but it's bouncing between D and F. That's all the right hand does for that measure. The left hand is a little more active. It's gonna go B flat, F, G, F, B flat, F, A flat, F. Okay. So the thumb moves up from this G to an A flat. So altogether, the fifth and the sixth measures sounds like this. Really slowly. It's doing that bouncing thing in the right hand, just the normal walk up, just like the first measure. This is where it gets a little different. The D and the F. Then the thumb moves up. Okay, now we're at the sixth measure, and we've got this run here. You're gonna basically. What you want to think about doing is playing an E flat chord as full as possible. So I'm playing. I'll just show you the chords, and then we'll talk about how it breaks up. All right. We're gonna be arpeggiating this huge chord here. So you've got an E flat, a G, a B flat in your left hand, an E flat in your left hand, and I recommend trying to reach all these notes, or like even stretching your hand out or sort of sliding. Usually I say you can drop out a note, but in this case, to get this just right, you're gonna want to actually play it with these fingers. If your hand's a little too small, you can sort of jump a little bit to get there. Okay, you've got a G, a B flat, an E flat, and a G in your right hand. And that's going to sort of be the big chord that we arpeggiate. And the way we arpeggiate it is a little bit different than the way you might do it if you're just doing it straight up. You're going to go, I'll show you the order. So first, from the bottom to the top is all normal for the first. So up to almost the top, you don't quite get back to the top note. So you've got that E flat, G, B flat, E, G, B flat, E, and then you go back to the B. And then you get to the top. So you just go back to this B right before you get to the top, and that sort of makes the spacing right. And then this, you get to the top note on the second beat of the seventh measure, and then you just go straight down. That G, E flat, B flat, G, E flat, B flat, G, E flat. So if you have this chord shape in your two hands, like together like this, you'll be good. All you have to remember is to go to that B before you get to the top. You sort of return to that B flat really quickly before you get to the top, and then you roll from the top down. So here it is, this seventh measure. Go back to the B, then straight down. Okay, that's the seventh measure. And then the last measure for this part, you're basically going to start the same thing with your left hand, straight up. Now the difference is you're going to have to move your hand, and you're doing a sort of different chord. So the first four notes are the same with your left hand. E flat, G, B flat, E flat. Now your right hand is going to sneak over the E flat to a D flat while your left thumb sneaks out of the way. This is kind of a tricky part. And what's going to be weird is that you're going to get your thumb back over. Is, to practice, you could just like have your thumbs go slide on top and just bounce off this D flat and E flat like this. You're kind of like a motor here, okay? You're going to be doing that. So you've got that E flat, G, B flat, and E in your left hand. Right thumb over this one while this slides out of the way. And then your right hand continues up to a G, B flat, and then your left thumb is going to play a E flat, and then you're going to play a C with your right hand, and you're going to come back, and now your right hand is playing this E flat, and then a G, then an E flat with your left hand, and then a B flat with your right hand. So let me show you that eighth measure. That eighth measure is a tricky part, but it's actually kind of the fun part. So E flat, G, B, E flat, D flat with the right hand, slide this out of the way, G, B flat, E flat with your left hand, C with the right, that E flat with your right, and then a G, then back to the E flat with your left. So you'll notice that you're kind of, throughout this measure, switching off which hand is playing that E flat a couple of times, right? And that's for flow. That's what it should look like, okay? That's the whole tutorial. I really hope it helped you. Hey, thanks for watching. I want to let you know that this video is made possible by the generous support of my patrons, members of joeraciti.com, and by my awesome subscriber base. Thank you all so much for your support. It means so much to me. If you want to take your support to the next level, if you think that my goal of bringing high quality music education to the entire world is a meaningful goal and one that we can accomplish together, I hope you'll consider taking one of those 3 basic actions to support me. They're small things to do, but they make a huge difference. I'm one person creating many, many videos for the whole world. Every little bit of support counts. So I hope you'll consider. Check out the annotations in this video over, oh, here we go. Woo! Check out these annotations and check out the links in the description field of the video. Those 3 actions do a lot for me. I'll see you again really soon. Bye-bye. Don't forget about the links. Bye-bye. And they're in the description too. Bye. And you can stick around for a little while. I mean, if you want to see me make a total fool out of myself. Also, it's about to rain, so I'll probably get totally soaked in a second if you just wait long enough. Actually, maybe you should just click on the links and go, because it's going to be embarrassing and I'm going to get wet and it's going to look weird. I just think, you should probably just leave. Yeah. I'm going to leave soon, so you probably should. Bye.